Hello there guys, it's Stephen and Phil here back on FOOTY.COM with yet another kit review. And as we kind of promised the Euro 2020 kits would drop, obviously Japan drops instead. This is a really interesting release. We're going to run through this today and give it a big old FOOTY.COM review. But don't forget, if you are a fan of kit culture, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single kit review. As I said, there'll be loads more releases soon. The Euro 2020 kits are about this like so many leaks, isn't there? So there'll be an absolute ton of videos coming up your way, so hit that subscribe button. But it isn't a Euro 2020 focus, it's a different continent entirely. We've got Japan's new shirt, which kind of dropped on Twitter yesterday and caused a bit of a stir. It's mad, it's different, and I'm going to hand it over to Phil Delves. Phil, what do you reckon of this shirt? It's interesting.
Well, to use a classic cliche, this is right up my street. This really is. I mean, very few shirts actually make me consider purchasing them on release, but honestly, this Japan shirt, at least for me, is definitely one of my favourite shirts I've seen this year. And it's, you know, we've seen a lot of good stuff this year.
Yeah.
The shirt you're wearing is definitely an example of a shirt that we like.
Yeah.
But I think this one, you know, at least, again, very much personal taste, but I think it is one of my favourite shirts this year.
It's, well, basically, it's got this, I think it's called, what is it, a cloud camouflage pattern. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a sky gone mad. It looks almost like Studio Ghibli-esque, the pattern.
Well, no, that's a... No,
yeah,
it does for a
you know what I mean? The way the colours and all the breaking down, it's very Japan, which is a good thing.
And I think that's the thing which I like most about the shirt. I mean, I think a lot of people just say, oh, it's a crazy pattern, but I think it's the execution of the pattern. As you say, there's very much... I can't think of a name for it, but it's that kind of traditional Japanese style. You know, some people are sort of were comparing it to that famous wave. I can't think what it's called now. The very famous Japanese painting of a wave crashing over, and it's got an element of that in the blues. And as you say, it's based on a cloud.
See, when you see it up close there, sorry to interrupt you there, like picture screen out, it looks like you're seeing the clouds from like an animated film or something,
exactly,
doesn't it? And I like that. I really do like it. I think it's really cool, and it's very distinctly of the country.
That's it. And I think what really separates the great shirts, you know, even like a shirt like Nigeria last year as well, is when there's a pattern which is really well made. You know, I think patterns in general can be done really badly. You know, it's not just a case of doing something crazy. It's got to look really good.
I'm showing Phil the background of my laptop now. Is like a Studio Ghibli version of a Zelda game. So like it's got that similar kind of vibe.
No, that's exactly it. And I think even just the shades of blue, there's quite a few shades of blue. I think I saw someone say maybe only kind of 5, but the way that they interlock and work together is really nice. You just look at it and you're looking at a piece of art. From
my perspective, someone who's a little bit colourblind in terms of like when there's a noise, it's hard. I think that the badge and the thing gets lost a little bit, and I think that's fair. I think it gets lost to everyone's perspective, really.
Well, I saw someone sort of slightly kind of made a tongue-in-cheek remark about that and saying that obviously, because given that it's a camo pattern, it works. It sort of works quite well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You do, and I think particularly with the Adidas. It does. I mean, you know, even if you're not colourblind, it does get lost quite a bit. But I think other things that I like other than the pattern, I do really like the slightly improved template this year for Adidas. So if you look at the back, it's still a plain back. But the way that the sleeves come over, I think it's a bit nicer.
It's a bit more interesting, a bit more creative, as opposed to just like here's your front and here's your back. At least there's some kind of semblance of the worlds merging together. Exactly. And understandably, you can't put a number on the back of that pattern. You just can't. Like they'd have to maybe almost like fade it out or something like that.
Yeah,
quite nice.
It would have been
classic overlay black 90% opacity.
Indeed. And I think even just the use of the 3 stripes is slightly different this year. Certainly on the player issue version.
The arms instead.
Yeah, and we've seen the 3 stripes on that side before, but I like that it's kind of cut off a bit. I know it's probably not to everyone's taste, but it's a slightly different interpretation.
One of my biggest bugbears in the channel, as you've known, is always how it feels like every Adidas shirt is just 3 stripes there, and it feels quite boring and repetitive. And I like that they're in a different place. I know the 3 stripes is their brand, but I do like seeing them not just on the shoulders of once, and I actually really like it. It's just a really good kit. It's not perfect, I don't think. I think there are some things that could be improved on, like, you know, maybe it could be more creative on the back a little bit, maybe, or something like that. And things do go lost a bit, but it's very good. But I asked you to give it a score, Phil.
Oh yeah, very high. I mean, I'm trying to think what the shirts, you know, reference points from last time. I think certainly from a personal perspective, I really want this shirt. It's one I'll be looking to pick up.
It's fun.
And I haven't said that about many shirts. Inter's was an example.
Do you remember Japan's World Cup shirt? That was was but I think this is better. I think it's more fun. It's more fun in my opinion.
I think the 2, I mean, what a 1-2 punch to have, you know. I mean, every country should be jealous of Japan for the last couple of years. No, this is really high. Honestly, I think this is in the 90s. It really is.
Yeah, I agree.
maybe I'm getting carried away with the hype, but I think this is probably even in the kind of high 90s.
Wow, this is 95 you gave this.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a 96. I honestly think this is one of my favourite shirts this year.
Interestingly, a lot of people hate this shirt.
They do.
So that's interesting to show. So I think we come from a perspective, once again, explaining we review shirts all the time, so we also have fun, interesting, creative. Some people look at this and go, it's an absolute mess. Someone compared it to a Norwich shirt to me on Twitter, and like the Norwich shirt from the 90s, and like, but I mean, even I like that shirt. I like the fun patterns.
And just quickly on that point, I don't want to rant, but I think, again, there's some people just look at a shirt like this and they think, oh, it's just a crazy shirt. You know, football shirts are just getting ridiculous these days. But I think actually, from a design perspective, this one is well executed.
I actually agree with that.
The pattern is well done.
Collar's actually quite nice, by the way. Simple.
Yeah, no, very good shout. Collar's good. You know, it makes sense for the country. It's unique. It's fresh. And at the end of the day, I think, you know, especially...
Most importantly, I agree about the country. I think this would go down very well in Japan.
Yeah, well...
I think it touches so many like things that the country's proud of.
And the timing's very good because they'll wear this in the Olympics. And I know Olympic kits are typically quite boring. They don't usually get a lot of, you know, coverage, but we might look at them next year. But anyway, yeah, I think this one, from a timing perspective, it's really good. No, honestly, I think this is one of my favourite kits.
And that's an exceptionally high score. And don't forget to head over to FOOTY.COM in general to find the cheapest prices for all these kits online that you'll find anywhere. We compare all the prices for you. That is our score. Let us know if you agree with it. Let us know what you would give it if you disagree. And I suspect there will be a bit of variation in the comments below. And for now, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos, because there's lots of very interesting, some not quite as nice, but some definitely decent Euro 2020 kits on the horizon, and we'll be reviewing them as soon as they drop. For now, though, I've been Stephen, this is Phil alongside me, and we'll see you very soon.